and to continue working under a company with no intention of protecting NewJeans would only do us harm. So that is why we, the five of us, together, have agreed to leave a door.
Regardless of our name, just remember that NewJeans never dies.
This is the K-Pop Cast, and in this week's episode, we dive into the question that has captured the attention of all of K-pop and beyond. Is this the end of NewJeans?
Dun dun dun. We also share our hit replays from BB featuring Dean and Irene of Red Velvet.
Hey, but before we get into our deep dive topics, don't forget to join the K-Pop Cast listener fam on Slack and help chip in for our editing costs. Links to both of those in the episode description. Special thanks to Lady Senza for chipping in with a $15 subscription.
Thank you.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm your PDnim Michaela, and hit replays, guys, are our K-pop song recommendations from the week. So, Stephanie, kick us off. What is your hit replay?
My hit replay is a sexy collaboration of, right, BB featuring Dean, Burn It.
Even when I'm with you, tell me what you see when you're looking in my eyes, like a flame on me and you. Baby, what I see when you're looking in my eyes, see the waves you make, got my body rolling, body rolling, body burning, body burning, body rolling, body rolling, body burning, body burning.
I was so happy to see these two R&B powerhouses come together in collaboration. Dean, if you don't know Dean, oh my gosh, look him up. Dean has been active writing songs for K-pop idols for a long time, like 11 years. He started in 2013 writing for like EXO and other groups like that, and then he debuted with some like fire US artist collaborations in 2015. I would say he single-handedly like up-leveled Korea's R&B scene.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll give him
singles.
that, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Just changed the game. And then enter BB, who's been active since 2017. She also came from a like songwriting, song producing background. She was discovered on SoundCloud actually by Yoonmi Ray of Feel Good Music and picked up by that label. And BB has just like grown to massive heights of popularity and expanded past R&B. She now does acting, she does ballads, she does more pop stuff. So I was just really excited to see these two doing especially what they do best, sexy, sultry R&B. Why it's a hit replay for me is the sound of it, of course. They both have beautiful voices, but I actually was looking up the song and saw a little news item that said BB's new track, Burn It, deemed unsuitable by KBS Review due to explicit lyrics. And I was like, ooh, let me give this more of a closer listen. So first of all, Dean does drop an F-bomb, which I'm like, yes, please, more F-bombs in K-pop. Dean's lines, the first line of his verse says, "We get way too many calls when we fucking." And like, isn't that, who among us does not agree with that, right? Like, turn off the phone, do not disturb.
Clutch my pearls.
Right? Dean. And then I'll just read aloud some of the English translation of the verse. It says, riding on the swaying bed, set me on fire. Yeah, hold me so you can put out the flames. I want to see you drown in me, pour it out to the edges, bring it all out, burn you and me, make it gone till the morning. Ooh, it's getting hot in here.
For real.
Ow, ow. So that is Burn It, my hit replay.
Right. So first of all, this was kind of like the reemergence of Dean on the scene. But for BB, I think this is such a great like track to kind of end out like one of probably the biggest years she's had so far, like winning Daesang Awards, like having incredibly popular tracks throughout the year. Like it's just the icing on the cake that is just this to end the year with the best R&B collaboration, I think.
Yeah. So sweet. We are big fans of her and of Dean, and hope they collaborate again in the future.
Right?
Yes.
Hopefully on Dean's new album, right, Dean? Because you're not just going to drop one song and like not
Oh my gosh.
release an album like last time.
He just like keeps pebbling us, sprinkling one song here, one collaboration there. He's clearly active and we love a collaboration, but please, where's the album? Come on.
Right.
All right, so I'll pass it to you, PD Neem, for your hit replay.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is a little bit of a last minute hit replay for me. I've been mostly listening to Flo's album since it came out.
K-pop adjacent, yeah.
Yeah, the UK girl group. They had an amazing, speaking of R&B album recently. But of course, the only song to add to my playlist other than Flo had to come from a Red Velvet member making her solo debut. It is Irene's Like a Flower.
I'm going like a flower, unlocking superpowers. I'm singing in the shower, 피어오르는 happiness. It's more than just a feature, 더 다정해질 용기. 날 감싸오는 나, I'm gonna be alright.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't really have much to talk about, like why this is a hit replay other than it's Irene and I love her. And
Is she your bias?
she's
Bias record?
she's my bias record, to be honest. Like my bias is Wendy, but like Irene has always been like, I mean, she's always like, she's the face. She's so pretty. She's the oldest member, and so it was really exciting to see her finally make her solo debut after 10 years in the industry. And the fact that she continues the trend or continues her group's concept of murdering boys in this comeback, I loved it. Like, or at least that's my interpretation of the music video. If you could maybe just like interpret it as like an obsessive girl who's falling in love with somebody, but there are some key elements in the MV that make it seem like she's more of a creepy psycho stalker than just somebody who's obsessed and in love. But I don't know. Well, like I said, I haven't seen any of the official press. I love the song. I think it shows off her voice really well. I mean, it's not doing super crazy things. I mean, she's not necessarily known as being like the diva vocalist like Wendy is, so I wasn't expecting her to like show off a crazy vocal range, but I think it really fits into this groove of like, one, her performance, and it's like her bright, bubbly personality, as well as like, which is I think something people don't really think of when they think of her. I think they think of her more of like the sexier side of Red Velvet.
Well, I'm thinking of her duo with Sugi a couple years ago. So hot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then she, again, is now in her 30s. So it's great to see her be able to still do these like super, like not girly concepts or like girlish, but something still bright and feminine and lovely. And I love her. I love it. And I hope you guys love it too.
I really liked it. Thanks for sharing. I was like, oh, I can see why PD Neem picked this.
Yeah.
So catchy.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty, yeah, really pretty visuals in the video.
Yeah, so I think people should also go and like check out all the Easter eggs in the music video. There's a few scenes where like she has all these cassette tapes that she's recorded, and all the labels on the cassette tapes kind of hint at different kind of visual things that you see in the music video. So I feel like people should go back and kind of like see all those little things.
All right. I think that about wraps it up for our hit replays. And now it's time for our hot issue. Issue of the week, of the month, of the year. Is this the end of NewJeans? And why do we ask this right now? NewJeans has officially announced that they are leaving or have left Adore, the Hybe sub-label that they were launched under. They did it in a press conference that was live streamed on YouTube. And this was on November 28th. They announced their decision to terminate their contract with Adore. Adore denounced that announcement, saying the contract still stands, and that they're trying to work with the members, but NewJeans hasn't been receptive to communicating. NewJeans fired back on November 29th, saying, no, our contracts have ended. Like, all of us signed that we're out, all 5 of us. And so we are going to be pursuing our own activities as of today. Something, and we're just diving into the discussion, I think, now. But something really interesting to note here and significant is that we're not hearing from the members that they're terminating their contract for being underpaid or like not having access to finances. I'm like thinking of the examples of other groups who have tried to terminate contracts. They haven't said that they're under, slavery mistreatment conditions. They said it's due to like disrespect, lack of support, more like dignity and like creative freedom issues. And like, I think this is something kind of unprecedented in K-pop. So we really wanted to devote a whole episode to exploring like what's new here, what do we predict is going to happen, and what's important to keep in mind as this unfolds.
Yeah, and some other context, I think, kind of before events kind of leading up to this official announcement from NewJeans, you have several days prior, Minhee Jin announcing her resignation from Adore officially. Also, you have Hani giving a very emotional statement to the National Assembly for Environment and Labor Committee in Korea, where she basically says that they all feel that they were being bullied by the company. And unfortunately, that led to recently the assembly basically claiming that they can't prove or support these claims of bullying because they are technically, individual workers or not official workers of the company, but based on their contract.
Employees.
So it's not necessarily the company's job
responsibility.
Or responsibility. So
that part is so telling and so familiar. If any of y'all have been listening for a while, you might know that I have a background as a labor organizer in the tech industry. And one of the biggest roadblocks to us, getting benefits and gains in our fight was that like half of the workforce is classified as independent contractors, not as full-time employees. And so what that legally means is that there are fewer legal protections for contract workers. They do not have to get healthcare benefits. They do not have to receive the kind of manager support or promotion, like a lot of the security that a full-time employee has. Like it's harder to fire a full-time employee than it is to let a contractor go. Like all of these differences were very real for me and the people I was organizing with in Google years ago. And so it's really telling, I think, that something coming out of this situation is we're seeing, it looks like a lot of idols are actually classified as independent contractors. And there might be pros to that, but I'm just thinking of the cons here of the security of their position and then them being able to access legal support or to file a complaint against the company to a governing body. Like it seems like that governing body is not going to help them out here because of their status as contractors.
Yeah. So you had the government wasn't supporting them. Their label wasn't supporting them, obviously, because that's the reason why they want to leave. And again, they gave their list of demands of things that they wanted from the label. And the label basically had the statement saying that we didn't have enough time. All of their stuff was really vague. We weren't really sure if that was even in our scope of things that we could do legally. So again, NewJeans members just decided to leave because nobody was really on their side anymore. Except for
But you know who was on their side? I was like, who's gonna say it? Who's gonna say it?
except for Min Hee Jin, of course.
Oh, good old Min Hee Jin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really was her year. In good and bad ways, and we haven't seen the last of her. Min Hee Jin, a legendary like creative director in the K-pop industry, is said to be the brains, the mind behind NewJeans' whole concept and persona. And like the big reason we're in this situation asking, is this the end of NewJeans, is because Min Hee Jin could not work things out to get her needs met and stay in Hybe and Adore. She has been effectively pushed out. She resigned. But because she was so integral and so closely involved with NewJeans and being involved in every decision for their music and their costumes and everything, we have to ask, like, if they go on without her, will they be the same? Will they be successful? And I mean, I think PD Neem, you were saying that there's been criticism about just how involved she is with the artists.
I think a lot of the main criticism, at least of NewJeans, or at least
their
this whole
behavior
situation
recently.
with NewJeans and their behavior, is that Min Hee Jin is basically the big orchestrator of this whole thing. This isn't necessarily something that they want to do, but that they are being manipulated by Min Hee Jin because of all the issues that she's been having with Hybe and, the management at that company.
You know, when I first saw so Dispatch released some news today, December 2nd, a string of text messages that reveal that despite NewJeans saying at their press conference, like, no staff are involved in this decision, it's only us artists, despite them claiming that, it looks like there might be actually text messages between members' parents and Min Hee Jin and like other staff that show that there is some conversation going on between them, some involvement, perhaps. We're not sure of the extent. But that kind of leaves a sour taste, right? If the artists are putting out a certain statement to make it look like, this is not Min Hee Jin, trust us, it's just us. But actually they are closely in contact and making decisions together. Everybody should just be honest at this point and come clean. It's 2024 is still not over. It's the year of like airing out dirty laundry. Cat Williams kicked it off, Let's just like be authentic and honest, I think, on all sides. What a mess.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, to your point about airing dirty laundry, I think that really is what sets this whole situation apart from all of the previous instances that we've had. I think one of the things that we didn't talk about earlier was like how I was thinking of how this is so different from like the EXO CBX situation where you had, them coming and like saying that, the company wasn't working with them, but they like, hey, we're trying to work with a company. But then they ended up resigning. But again, all of this was done behind the scenes. Like we didn't really get to know about all these like individual messages and a possible shade being thrown their way from the company. And so the fact that you have these investigations bringing out all of these super secret internal documents where we're getting to see all of these conversations that are happening while this is going on is very unprecedented for the situation. And especially since, again, because they did this whole investigation of Hybe, it's not just NewJeans like getting thrown under the bus a lot of the time. Like they're throwing everybody under the bus in these in the Hybe papers that came out from this investigation.
Like who else? Tell us.
I haven't had the time or the or the energy to really get into it, but from the headlines and discussions that I've been seeing going around was, talking about this alleged report where they're going to basically scrap NewJeans and start new. And I think that is connecting to like the group Islet, They were
Yep.
talking about other non.
Oh.
Sorry, they were talking about other non-Hype groups like ZB1. Kind of got mentioned recently. It's taking like they weren't.
Why are they in it?
Even though they were popular, it's like we don't have to worry about them because they're not handsome. Yeah, things like that.
Dang, yeah, they just be I knew it's like this inside the K-pop labels, that they just shamelessly be putting down people's looks. I know that it must be like that. Ooh. But dang, that's cringe, yikes.
Yeah, but like CBX was one that came to mind. I think when we were going over the list of like other similar situations, like you said, they technically don't apply, like the CBX, the VAPs, the GOT7s,
JYJ, TVXQ. Mhm.
JYD, like, or at least the way what we know about those situations specifically, most of it was because of more slave contract issues, not necessarily just mistreatment from the company, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's also pretty unusual to see a group terminate contract so early in their career, like 2 years in. Like, yeah, the examples that we just listed, TVXQ, BAP, and like it's, yeah, and the EXO CBX stuff, like they've been in the industry so long before making that kind of move. And so we wonder, yeah, we've been talking in terms of how is this going to go for the group? They're taking a huge gamble, a huge risk that in the past, when groups have taken this kind of action, they have either been like fully blacklisted for years. I'm talking about JYJ, who removed themselves from TVXQ, getting blacklisted and not being able to appear on television because of SM Entertainment's influence. That's pretty common practice. And so it's either that the group like just falls off into obscurity, not able to regain momentum. They're taking a huge risk here, and we're not. I don't know. Like we've been talking, and at least Peter and I don't think it's gonna pan out too well for their popularity, their success going forward. We'll see though.
Yeah, Peter specifically mentioning that probably Le Sserafim is gonna basically just take over whatever market share that NewJeans has had in the industry, especially when it comes to like the remaining Hype girl groups, because we do know that Promise 9 also left Hype.
Yeah,
around this
same
time. Same day, same announcement. So it's like now it's just kind of like clearing space really for Le Sserafim.
Ouch.
Yeah, not as much Islet, but more Le Sserafim as far as like how they now are more established.
Yeah, I wonder, have there been examples of artists who cut the tie with their label and went up in popularity? I mean, the only one we can think of is like Jay Park, right?
Yeah.
He was kicked out of
Yeah,
TPM.
yeah.
He took his couple of years and then he came
but-
back and started his own label. But that's the anomaly, right?
Yeah. And like we've been talking about mostly men. I think of Luna, the fracturing of Luna and how that affected the whole group's popularity going forward.
And look at them now. They too, same day as NewJeans and Promise 9, have decided to leave their next label. So it's like, man, you really get like handicapped making a move like this. And that begs the question of who is more important in the K-pop equation, the company, the label, or the artists themselves?
As fans, we would hope, as people that support and love these artists, that they are the most important thing. And who cares about business, because our love will power through all.
Oh boy.
But
Love conquers all.
Yeah, love conquers all. But clearly, with the precedent of the industry, that is not the case. It really is the company that
companies
has the most power.
They have the money, they have the influence, and they are vengeful. They retaliate like crazy. I mean, that's been my personal experience in trying to do any kind of activism. And I feel for these artists. I feel for the NewJeans girls, and I know they must be super stressed from this whole situation. I hope that through this, they are number one, like getting care for their health, their physical, mental health. I hope that they are connecting with their families and friends and people who are outside of this situation and not just spending forever on it. I hope that they are really considering all options here, that they do have plan B and plan C and exit plans for if this doesn't work out, because just like overriding your body, your nervous system for trying to force something to work, that never works out well in the end. So yeah, just care for them as people first.
If we could look to the future, what, given that, maybe they're taking their time and, the legal battles are over, what do you think would be the best situation for NewJeans? Would it be they join Minhee future label and get to keep their name and get to keep the producers that they've worked with before? Like, would that be the best case scenario for them, or is that too much of a dream?
Yeah, would that be the best scenario? Best for who? That would be best for Minhee, obviously.
Right.
And if they want it, if NewJeans wants that, that is probably their best option. Their best next move is to stick with Minhee, her team, and like follow her to where she wants to go. Mm-hmm. Because them going totally independent without a team or without those they've worked with before, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's rough. It's tough out there in the waters with the sharks. Yeah. I don't know. We know that in K-pop, it's not just the artists that we see on stage, but there's this whole army of staff and creative direction and producer. We know that what we see on stage is like a product of not just the human beings on the stage. And so if they are just left alone to be just on their own as the people, I'm not that confident that they're going to continue. Definitely not on the trajectory they've been on. Peter had some comments about the press conference itself as a PR professional.
Yeah, just as like in general, how they've been going about this. It doesn't, it's again, like it's super, super unpolished, unprecedented. Like the fact that they had a press conference first before, putting out an official statement.
A press release, yeah.
Or a press, yeah. Like there was no, hello, we are NewJeans. It was
We've seen so many of these releases that it's a joke now.
Yeah, taking more of like, again, the learning maybe from Minhee.
We apologize for making fans worried about blah blah blah.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, but they apparently did hire like an official firm
PR
to like put together the conference itself, but like other than that, it kind of just seems like they're working with whatever team they have with them, if they have a team.
Being scrappy.
Yeah.
And that Peter is a PR professional in his day job. And so from his perspective, like it was really interesting to hear him go through the points of how this is being handled in a way different way, like a precedent is being set in 2024 for K-pop. The fact that the language used by the NewJeans members in the press conference, there's a lot of casual, unprofessional, informal language. That is very different from what we're used to seeing in K-pop press conferences or releases. The fact that, yeah, like you said, there was not a written announcement first. They just went straight to a YouTube live stream press conference. And
Which
you know,
is a
when
very,
I
I guess, Gen Z approach.
I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's new, but we also saw Min Jin do that. It's
Right.
kind of like it's an approach that appeals to the viewers and the fans who want authenticity and who are like craving something other than the super clean cut
Yeah.
corporate press release. I think in a way, in one way, in that way, it's a smart choice to be dressed casual, to be streaming online, to be like, look, this is our faces and this is how we really talk. Which is what Min Jin did earlier this year with her famous, green sweater and blue cap and the outfit that was selling off the shelves because of her press conference that made such a splash. Yeah, they might be following that example of let's just say it, say what's on our mind and appeal to this like authenticity approach. But in Peter's PR professional opinion, this is just like unprofessional, airing dirty laundry, not gonna work.
Yeah.
In their favor. I hear that.
The fans might like it, but maybe future investors into whatever company they're a part of might not like it.
Well, that goes back to our question. Is it enough to have artists and fans, like fans who support them? Or do we actually need the buy-in, the investment from the large labels, from the media companies, the TV networks, the advertisers? Like, do you need them to co-sign you? Or can you truly go it alone with the power of the love of the fans? I don't think so. But I never say never, but...
Or at least not in Korea. Not in K-pop.
Not in K-pop.
Like,
You heard it here first.
There is a reason why JYJ members pivoted hard to Japan.
They did. They're like, let's get out of here.
Other industries to make money.
Left their home country. That's right.
Yeah. But NewJeans, despite being 2 years into their career, do have a unique placement in the fact that they do have very large international popularity.
That's
large
true.
International fandom.
Yeah, they do. And now like we'll see, can they cash in on that in a way?
Yeah.
I think that's the big gamble that NewJeans, and I assume Min Jin being like really involved in this, that's the big gamble they're making. Can they cash in on the investment they put in over the past 2 years and before? Like, is there enough to pull on to like propel them forward? Or is K-pop as short attention span, fickle as we fear? That attention will turn away from this group that's riddled with drama and go, oh, hey, what's Le Sserafim doing? What's Islet up to? I'm tired of keeping up with the drama.
Yeah, well, tune in next year in 2025 to see
Oh
to
boy.
see how it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where we leave it off. Really, it's just I guess we'll just wait and see.
I guess we will. And we can also leave it with Tamar left on kind of a cautiously hopeful note in her piece she published, saying NewJeans are hoping to set a new paradigm for idols, especially women, taking control and having more of a say when it comes to their own careers. And
Right.
so whatever happens, NewJeans has set a precedent of going out and doing something big and brave. And we don't know what seeds they're planting for other groups, especially girl groups.
Maybe they create the first idol union. That'd be great. Maybe.
Idol union. We've been talking about that for years.
Because we need it.
Oh man, we need something like that. Especially as they're all contractors. Ooh.
Ugh. Okay.
Well, let us know what you think the future of NewJeans is. Hit us up in the K-Popcast Slack. We would love to discuss it with you and hear what new information is coming out. If you found something that we missed, or if you have a more optimistic outlook, we'd love to hear it.
Do you have any suggestions for NewJeans?
What should they do? We
Yeah.
should crowdsource ideas. I think that about wraps it up for our deep dive into whether this is the end of NewJeans. Hopefully not. But wrapping up, let's let our listeners know where they can find us on the socials. You can find me on Instagram at Catchlight27.
And you can find me at PDNim on our K-Popcast Slack, and you can find both of us on our K-Popcast Slack.
And if you want to support the show, please consider donating to our Ko-fi. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Without you.